Daddy, are we gonna play?
Today we are going to be talking about the game As Dusk Falls. As Dusk Falls is an interactive narrative game that defies convention and transcends boundaries. Developed by Interior Night, a small but innovative indie studio, the game represents a bold new vision for interactive storytelling. At its heart, As Dusk Falls is a character-driven drama that explores the complex relationships between two families. Set in the American Southwest in the late 1990s, the game opens with a shocking and tragic event that will change the course of both families' lives forever. As players progress through the game, they will witness the fallout from this event and make choices that will shape the futures of the characters involved. What sets As Dusk Falls apart is its unique approach to storytelling. The game blends hand-drawn animation and 3D graphics to create a cinematic and immersive experience that draws players in and keeps them engaged. The narrative is told through a series of flashbacks and present-day scenes with multiple perspectives, features beautifully animated cutscenes that are used to advance the plot and immerse the player in the game's world. The animations are smooth and well executed, and the transitions between gameplay and cutscenes are seamless. The cutscenes are used sparingly but effectively, adding to the game's overall atmosphere. The storyline is one of the game's greatest strengths. The game follows the intertwined lives of several characters over the course of several decades, exploring themes of family, betrayal, and forgiveness. The story is well written and emotionally charged, and it manages to keep the player invested in the game's outcome. The gameplay is a unique blend of interactive storytelling and adventure game mechanics. Players make choices that affect the outcome of the story, and there are also puzzles to solve and objects to interact with. The gameplay is easy to understand and intuitive, but it may be too simplistic for some players. The game's use of choice and consequence is particularly impressive, as players' choices have a tangible impact on the story's outcome. The pacing of As Dusk Falls is slow, with a slow-building tension and drama that gradually builds to a climactic finale. The pacing may be too slow for some players. The objectives are varied, with a mix of puzzle-solving, exploration, and dialogue choices. The game's use of multiple perspectives also means that players have different objectives depending on the character they are playing. Dialogue. The dialogue in As Dusk Falls is well written and naturalistic, with believable character interactions and meaningful choices that affect the outcome of the story. The game takes place in several different locations, including a desert motel, a prison, and a suburban house. The settings are well designed, but it was not a major standout to me and just assisted the story. The game's branching storylines and multiple endings make it highly replayable, as players can make different choices on subsequent playthroughs to see how the story unfolds differently. The game's use of multiple perspectives also means that players can see different sides of the story on subsequent playthroughs, adding to the game's overall replayability. As Dusk Falls can be completed in a single playthrough, which takes about 2-3 hours to complete. However, the game's replayability adds to its overall length. The game's use of lighting and shadow is also impressive, adding to the game's overall atmosphere. The game's use of multiple perspectives also means that players get to see different angles of each location. The hand-drawn animation and 3D graphics don't always blend together seamlessly. This can create a jarring visual experience that detracts from the game's emotional impact. While the game features branching dialogue options and some small interactive elements, there is not much in the way of gameplay mechanics or puzzles. This may make the game feel more like an interactive movie than a true video game experience with little to none action events or situations. Overall, As Dusk Falls represents a bold new direction for interactive storytelling. And while it may not be for everyone with its strong narrative and emotional impact, but lacking visuals and action sequences, I am going to rate As Dusk Falls 3 out of 5 stars.